Hello, space explorers! Let's talk about two amazing stars in our cosmic neighborhood. One is incredibly close to us, and the other is very, very far away. The first one is our Sun, the bright, warm star at the center of our solar system. It's like a giant engine that powers everything on Earth. The Sun gives us light to see during the day, warmth to keep our planet cozy, and energy for plants to grow. Without the Sun, our home would be a very different, much darker and colder place. Now, let's journey much farther out into space to meet another star, a real giant named Betelgeuse. This star is part of the constellation Orion, which you might recognize as the shape of a hunter in the night sky. Let's imagine the moment Betelgeuse finally explodes. This spectacular event, one of the most powerful in the entire universe, is called a supernova. It's the grand finale for a star of this immense size, a cosmic firework display on an unimaginable scale. For millions of years, Betelgeuse has been fusing elements in its core. But when a giant star like this runs out of fuel, its own massive gravity wins the fight, causing the core to collapse in on itself in less than a second. This catastrophic collapse triggers a gigantic rebound, like a cosmic spring recoiling. A powerful shockwave erupts from the core, blasting the star's outer layers out into space at incredible speeds. This explosion is so incredibly bright and powerful that for a few weeks or even months it can outshine our entire Milky Way galaxy. That's the light of one star, brighter than hundreds of billions of other stars combined. From our perspective, a new, incredibly bright star would suddenly appear in our sky. It would shine brighter than any other star, perhaps even as bright as the full moon, and be easily visible during the daytime. The explosion would also create a beautiful, expanding cloud of gas and dust called a supernova remnant. This cosmic cloud is rich with heavy elements forged inside the star and will glow for thousands of years. Scientists and stargazers all over the world would be pointing their telescopes at it. It would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to learn how stars die and how the elements that make up our world are scattered across the cosmos. And best of all, this spectacular light show would be completely safe for us here on Earth. Betelgeuse is over 600 light-years away, far enough that the most harmful radiation would dissipate long before reaching us. At the exact same moment that the brilliant light from Betelgeuse's supernova reaches us, something impossible happens much closer to home. Our Sun vanishes. The very heart of our solar system, the star that has nurtured life for billions of years, is simply gone. This event defies the laws of physics, but it happens in an instant. But here on Earth, we wouldn't know it right away. Light has a speed limit, so it takes time to cross the vast distance from the Sun. For 8.5 wonderful normal minutes, life continues as if nothing has changed. The Sun appears to hang in the sky, its warmth still felt. During those precious few minutes, people would be looking up at the sky, but not because the Sun was missing. They would be marveling at the incredible new star, the supernova from Betelgeuse. It would be so bright it would be clearly visible even in broad daylight, a second point of light in our sky. News channels would be buzzing, social media would explode with pictures, and everyone would be talking about the amazing sight. The world would be united by the sheer wonder of the cosmos, completely oblivious that a far greater event was already underway. Then, the 8.5 minutes would be up. The last rays of sunlight that left the Sun just before it vanished would finally arrive at Earth. And then, instantly, the light would switch off. One moment, it would be a bright, sunny day, and the next, a profound pitch black. The only significant light left would be the ghostly glow of the Betelgeuse supernova. At the same instant, the Sun's immense gravity would vanish too. Our planet, which had been faithfully circling the Sun for over 4 billion years, would suddenly be untethered. No longer bound in orbit, Earth would fly off in a straight line. We would become a rogue planet, traveling silently through the vast, empty darkness of interstellar space. The immediate effects on Earth would be dramatic and honestly, pretty terrifying. The sudden plunge into total darkness would cause worldwide confusion and panic. The only natural light would come from the stars and the ghostly glow of the Betelgeuse supernova, which would now totally dominate the sky. Without the Sun's warmth, the Earth's temperature would begin to drop immediately. Within the first day, temperatures in many places would fall below freezing. The surface of the oceans would begin to freeze over, starting at the poles and spreading towards the equator, eventually encasing the entire planet in a thick shell of ice. Our planet, once a vibrant blue and green marble, would transform into a dark, silent ice ball. It would be a snowball Earth, hurtling through the void of space. The sky above would be a breathtaking, permanent star show. but there would be no one on the frozen surface to appreciate the view. For life on Earth, the sudden absence of the sun would be a catastrophe beyond measure. The first to feel the effects would be the plants. Photosynthesis would stop instantly. Animals would be thrown into chaos. Herbivores would quickly run out of food, and predators would soon find their own food sources disappearing. However, deep at the bottom of the ocean, around hydrothermal vents, are entire ecosystems that don't rely on sunlight at all. They would continue to thrive in their dark, warm world. Humanity would face an immediate and existential crisis. The global power grid would face unprecedented strain as everyone tried to switch on lights and heaters at once. Our food supply is almost entirely dependent on agriculture, which would collapse instantly without sunlight. Scientists would be working frantically to create sustainable, underground habitats powered by nuclear or geothermal energy. With our sun gone, the surface would rapidly freeze to hundreds of degrees below zero. Humanity would have to retreat indoors, turning our cities into insulated arcs. We would become a subterranean society living deep underground, tapping into the planet's geothermal heat to shield ourselves from the lethal cold of space. To feed our civilization, biologists would create vast indoor farms. Using advanced hydroponics, they would grow food in nutrient-rich water, without soil or sun. Powered by geothermal or nuclear energy, powerful artificial lights would allow entire ecosystems to flourish in immense caverns, a testament to our resourcefulness. But survival might demand an even bolder step, turning our entire planet into a world ship. This would be the greatest engineering project in history, building unimaginably powerful engines to nudge Earth out of its dead orbit and guide its path toward another star system. As a rogue planet, Earth could travel through space for millions of years. Our long journey through the dark would become a generational mission, a sacred trust passed down to shepherd our frozen world and the life it cradles across the unfathomable void. After countless generations navigating by starlight, we might aim for a new star system. The final approach would be a maneuver of incredible precision, hoping to be captured by the gravity of a new sun and to thaw our frozen world once more. Maybe, just maybe, our journey would lead to a new home. For our descendants, who have only known artificial light, to feel the warmth of a real star on their faces would be a profound, almost mythical experience, a promise kept across the ages. This journey forces us to ask who we really are. Are we defined by our planet and our sun, or are we defined by our curiosity, our hope, and our ability to solve impossible problems? In the endless night, guided by the light of distant stars and the fading glow of a long-dead supergiant, humanity might find its truest purpose: to carry the precious spark of life and consciousness through the darkness, forever reaching for a new dawn.